Hello, this is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we making today?
We're making Tres Leches Cake. So today we're going to make Tres Leches Cake. We're going to abbreviate it just a little bit because I'm going to use a cake mix for the flour part of it. And this Tres Leches means 3 milks. So if you can't have dairy products, this probably wouldn't be for you. So we're going to use a yellow cake mix, vegetable oil, vanilla, and eggs. That's going to be the cake part of it. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do for the milk part of it. Okay, so let's get going.
So yeah, we're going to be using a regular cake mix.
But you're not going to be following the information on the back of the cake mix.
No. And you want to use a yellow cake mix, not white, not chocolate. This has got to be a yellow cake mix. Now this is a recipe we discovered. Tres Leches must have been like, I don't know, 12 years ago. Long time ago.
Someone brought up a piece of it to Peter and he loved it. And then my daughter-in-law worked with someone who used to make cakes out of her home, and for one of his birthdays or a special occasion to say thank you for helping out in the house, she brought one down and it was absolutely delicious. This person made everything from scratch. And so because Peter liked it so much, I said, oh, let me see if I could, start learning how to make it. And I ended up finding this particular recipe. Yeah. So your cake mix, you're going to use a tablespoon of vegetable oil because vegetable oil does not bring a flavor to the cake.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I had this a while back and I loved it, and I tried to have it for my birthday cake quite many times. But some people I know, they don't like the wet cake, but this is really good cake.
So we're going to now add 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
And at this point, you can turn on your oven to 350 degrees.
This calls for 4 eggs.
So yeah, Tres Leches is really good. It's a very so what the plan is we're going to make this cake. We're going to bake it to a certain point, and then we're going to mix our 3 milks together. And then when the cake is still hot, you're going to take it out of the oven once it's cooked, and you're going to poke holes in it, and then we're going to add the milk. And then that's when you got to let the cake sit for overnight, or at least a day, or so many hours, up to 24 hours, and then you can eat it. It's delicious. So we're throwing in 1 1/4 cup of water right here. And then we're going to mix it up.
Okay, so we have all our ingredients here. We're going to use the hand mixer. It goes in a 13 by 9 long pan. You actually could make it in a round and 2 round pans, and I'll explain a little bit more, but I just found it easier putting it in this. And it's going to bake for about 35 to 40 minutes until your cake is done. So you beat it for about 2 minutes until everything is nice and incorporated.
So we're going to add it to our
prepared pan.
Already greased 13 by 9 baking pan or cookie sheet. And Like my mom said, we're gonna bake it for 35 minutes or until it's done. So we're gonna put this in a 350 degree oven for 35 minutes, and then we will take it out. But before we do that, we want to show you our newest member of the family. This is our new kitty, Maple. She's a black kitty who likes to roll around and do stuff.
She's a rescue.
Yeah, we rescued her from a family who's someone was allergic to kitties. Anyways, that's Maple.
Okay, so while your cake is cooking, we're going to combine the 3 milks. And one of the milks is sweetened condensed milk. And this is a 14-ounce can. And there you could find them in the baking section of your grocery store. So we're going to pour the whole thing in. And this is quite thick. And you can use this condensed milk for lots of things.
Yeah, you can even use it. We've done what is it called? There's something where you can take it and you can pour it into like little cans or little things and then let it cook
in water. Yeah,
I forget what that's called.
And it caramelizes.
And it's terrific. It's terrific on ice cream. It's very addicting. Super duper addicting. But yeah, this is one of the one of the milks.
So the second milk is going to be evaporated milk. And you need to shake your can very good. Mm-hmm. This is stuff I remember my grandparents and my parents using this before they came out with all the different kinds of creamers. I mean, for your coffee. You could use regular cream or light cream, but I remember my parents using evaporated milk because it's thicker, and evaporated milk is also very good to make like the cooked puddings, the Mighty Fine, chocolate, vanilla. You use a can of this and a little bit of water to make your milk that you add to it, and it comes creamier.
Yeah.
So you're going to use a whole can of this as well. And this is also 12 ounces.
Or 14 ounces. Well, that's
this is 12.
Oh, they're both 12?
And this one is 14 ounces. So you're going to mix this together.
And then what's the third milk?
The third milk is heavy whipping cream. And I have a pint, 16 ounces. And so I'm just going to shake it up. Now with this, you use half of it because the other half you're going to save for the following day. You're going to whip it up and put it on top of the cake.
Yeah, so we're only using 8 ounces here, right? Is that how much that is? Yeah. So first we have to mix the sweetened condensed milk and the evaporated milk until it kind of like thins out the sweetened condensed milk enough to where it's not as like goppy and gloopy and thick, pretty much. And then you'll have this mixture ready for when the cake is ready.
Right. And so after you're done with this, you're of course going to want to put it in the refrigerator. And I'm putting it in a measuring cup because it just makes it easier to pour on the cake.
Right. So yeah, Tres Leches, I believe originally started in America. I'm not sure if it was really originally a Mexican Mexican
okay,
cake,
so
but I'm not sure.
I put in half
I'll
of
put
them.
some food fact on the bottom about that.
Of the whipped cream. Okay, so we are all incorporated with our 3 milks.
Right, and if you wanted to get even more decadent, you could potentially use 2 cans of each and use a whole thing of heavy whipping cream to get that cake nice and moist. Because when you do this, you're going to get your cake pretty moist. But if you like it really moist, and again, this is going to be up to your discretion when you taste this
I
cake.
actually think 2 of everything would be a little bit too much.
Oh, well then maybe
because what happens is even the longer that you leave this cake sitting to absorb the milk, even after 8 or 24 hours, it continues to absorb the milk. So as I was telling you that we're doing it in a sheet pan, but if you wanted to do it in 2 round pans, 8-inch or 9-inch rounds, what you would do is you would put your holes in the cake, fill it up with the mixture, and set it up just like you would do with a long pan. But because now the 2 cakes would go on top of each other, you would need a little bit of extra whipping cream, because you're going to put the whipping cream in the middle as well and put the layers on top of each other. But I just found it easy enough to do it a single layer. Okay, so we're going to put this in the refrigerator, and when the cake is done, we'll be back.
Okay, we just took the cake out about 30 minutes. And my mom's sticking the hole in.
Yep, it's nice and done. So we're just going to let it sit, and you could tell it's done. It's pulled away from the sides. It's dry in the middle.
Right.
And now we're just going to let this sit here for maybe about 20 minutes just to cool down a little bit. Okay, so our cake has been cooling for about 20 minutes, and I am going to start putting holes.
Yeah, it's still kind of warm, but it's pliable enough that you can poke them in there without destroying your cake. You want to be ever so gentle as you're doing it, not to destroy your cake, and poke a hole. If you don't have a chopstick, you can use a fork, but just be very careful. Or even, I guess, a knife, I guess. But yeah, this is where the magic comes in. There's not really a... And don't worry.
See, if you go too fast, you could end up pulling your cake up. See?
Yeah, but don't worry about that, because that's what the whipped cream is going to be for. To cover all that mistake. Yeah. But just take your time, put some holes in. You got to put in at least 24 holes. I'm joking. It doesn't matter about the number of holes. Just put a bunch in all over the place, whether it be in the middle, on the edges. I find a lot of the liquid tends to go towards the edges, so putting holes there is always good. My mom put exactly 64 holes in, and now we're ready to roll. But again, it doesn't really matter. And now we're going to pour our milk mixture into the cake and just let it absorb, making sure to pour throughout the entire cake, trying to get it in them holes.
I mean, it's going to be, you're going to see the milk mixture around the side, and that's why you put it in the refrigerator and overnight, so that the cake will do its thing and absorb the liquid.
Yeah, the worst part about making this cake is having to wait the next day to have it. At least that's my feeling. But yeah, so...
I don't know if you can see it, but see down here? It already started soaking it all up.
Yeah. So we just got to continue to pour evenly throughout the entire cake. Just making sure that every little bit gets in there.
And sometimes you'll look and you'll say, oh my God, this is never going to soak it up. Wait until you see it in the morning.
Right. Okay, so as you can see, my mom poured all of the liquid in, and it's already absorbing.
It's absorbing quite a bit.
Yeah, it was like a lake just recently, and now it's all filled in. So we're gonna wrap some plastic wrap on it, throw it in the refrigerator for up to 8 hours. Longer is better. We're gonna take it out tomorrow, and we're gonna put some whipped cream on it, and then we're gonna serve it to everybody, or just me. So we'll see you later.
Okay, we're a day later. And if you feel this, you could feel that all of the milk was absorbed. It's heavier, and you can see there's nothing really left. So what we're going to do now is make the cream for the top. So here we are. We're going to beat our cream, And this is just a little trick. We had our bowl in the freezer getting cold, and also our whisks. It just helps the cream set up a little quicker. So I'm going to put my cream in the bowl. I am going to add a good heaping teaspoon of granulated sugar. You could use confectionery sugar if you wanted. And a squirt of vanilla. Now you're gonna hear a lot of noise, so we'll come back when this is all beat up. Okay, our whipped cream is done. Nice and thick.
Nice stiff peaks.
Okay, so we're gonna put our cream on here.
Now, some folks, when you get Tres Leches, you get Tres Leches in, you get fruit in your Tres Leches cake. This one, you know, because it usually is two different layers of cake, and you get, you know, your fruit in the middle. I'm not a big fan of putting the fruit in the middle. Just give me cream and cake. Milk and cake, that's all I want. But yeah, you could add fruit if you're making a 2-layered cake for some reason. What do you think, Ma? Anything? You got any thoughts on cake and fruit?
No, I actually never had it with the fruit, so
Yeah.
I just had it with
Just like this. This is like we were mentioning earlier. This is pretty much how I had it the first time, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is so good. This tastes amazing. I love it.
So here we are. We're all creamed up.
All right, now we're gonna cut the cake, and we're gonna see how it comes out. Ma, why don't you just take a corner piece?
That's okay. The first slice is always a pain in the neck,
The toughest
no
slice.
matter what you do.
Make sure you get the edge too. So there you go. And ta-da! Look at that, lovely. Look at that loveliness. Whoops.
And as you can see,
Hold on, I'm showing this piece that you just cut. Look at that, how good it looks.
in the can itself, it's soaked up every bit of that liquid.
No liquid to be found at all. So, let's have a slice. Alright, so here is our Tres Leches. As you can see, you see how it's a little wet right down here? That's how you know it's a good cake right there. You gotta have it a little wet. People sometimes don't like that consistency in their cake. A little wet, but I love it because it's the cream or the milk that just makes it great.
Good.
I love it. Just something about this. The cake is really moist, but it's not only moist because of all the milk that's on the bottom, but it's just very tasty. You can really taste that lemon. And the whipped cream.
Not
Just-
lemon.
No, I meant the vanilla. I'm sorry. Anyways, terrific cake. Whipped cream's great. There's nothing else. I could eat that whole pan. I love this cake. So, thank you, Mom.
You're welcome,
And this has been another Cooking with Kenshin19 along with.
Mom.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye. Enjoy and happy eating.